I wanted to take some time today to go over the importance of using a local lender. Guys, when you are representing a buyer, it is of utmost value to use a local lender, somebody you can talk to, somebody you can walk into their office and have a conversation with. Over the last week or so, I've had the worst luck with lenders that are not local. Rocket Mortgage being one of them. The other one is out of Ohio, somebody I've never even heard of before. But here in Oklahoma, when we have an issue, I want to be able to pick up the phone, talk about it, figure it out, what's going to work best for everybody. And that just did not happen this time around, guys. Local lenders will help you get the deal done. They will try to close on your timeline. They will go out of their way to answer phone calls and emails. Whereas somebody that's not here passes it off to who knows who at the end of it. It's just ridiculous. So let me tell you the little story about what happened to me. My clients were the sellers and we got an offer, we accepted it. It did have a local lender on it. And then the week later, they switched up to a different lender. I'm not sure exactly why. They just said, hey, this is what we need to do. We were okay, we didn't bat an eye. We got the appraisal ordered on a conventional loan, $200,000 price point. The loan came back, the appraisal came back low, about $15,000, which is quite a big percentage, almost 10% of the purchase price. Completely unjustifiable. I have done my research, I have done my comps. He was just concerned about the quality of construction. He called out some things that I had never seen before. A fence that was leaning like 2 degrees, that was called out as unsafe. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac would not give lending to it without it being secured. So overall, the experience with this lender and this appraiser were ridiculous. We fought the appraiser, had him back out for the requirements that were unsafe to see if they met the guidelines so they would give the lending. Also in that timeline, we replaced a brand new HVAC system. This flip had a new roof, updated electrical, new floors, new vinyl windows on part of the house, stainless steel appliances, new HVAC, new hot water tank, new gutter. It was like a lot of the mechanicals were done on this house very nicely. So I'm not sure why we were not given full consideration for this appraisal as compared to some of the other homes in the neighborhood. He didn't take into consideration that this house was nestled inside the neighborhood, and he used a freaking comp on a busy street that led into the neighborhood. So I'm like, how does that not add any value? I was concerned that he wasn't taking into consideration and giving my sellers the proper value for their home. So we fought the appraisal, had him redo it. He came back and said the value was not going to change. Even though I was told 2 times by the lender that if we updated the HVAC system, completely replaced it, heat and air unit, which is, 10 grand, 15 grand, depending on which one you get, that it would add value, and we needed that gap to increase the overall value of the house. So at the end of the day, the appraiser lied, didn't give it value, wouldn't speak to me, had his assistant call me, would not answer any questions, told me it was illegal to answer questions. Then I would call the lender. Lender never took my phone call, not once. Didn't call me back. He sent a couple of emails. But at the end of the day, my sellers offered to go in and buy a new appraisal. We said we want a whole new appraisal with a different company, different everything, because appraisals are subjective. And the lender said no. He said it was unjustified. You know what? It cost us the deal. Didn't close. We relisted. Had 16 people ask me about it within the first day of relisting. And the seller was just so overwhelmed by the whole thing that she decided to pull the house off the market because she was so frustrated. we are all frustrated. Think about how this makes me as a realtor who does this day in and day out as a professional helping people buy and sell homes, when you can't have if you don't have the right team in place, lenders, appraisers, inspectors, the whole shebang, it falls apart. Choose your team wisely.